All right, and hello and welcome to ULTradez. My name's David Whiteley, and we're back at it. It's been a few days since I posted an update video, so I wanted to do that. But more importantly, I think I'm going to change up the formatting a little bit. If you've been watching the channel for any period of time, you know that this is a channel that I created originally to document the process of getting 20 Apex accounts through the evaluation phase. That's still a project that I'm working on. And what I want to do is, moving forward, I'm going to change these videos. I'm going to try and do them every day if I have time. But they're going to be more just trade logs. And essentially the purpose is for myself. So I can keep it as a record of what I've done in the past. I can go back and look at it. And we'll share them here on YouTube. Feel free and comment. Let me know what you think, if it's useful information. As I go through the trades and things, I'm probably not going to explain them in great detail. I can reference you to where I learned whatever tips, tricks, or techniques that I happen to use. But the intent is to be more disciplined and more structured in my trading. And this is something that I'm going to undertake to try and manage that. So let's go into the charts. All right, so we're going to start in ES. I took 3 trades in ES today. Two were bad entries that I was able to get out for basically break even. And then the third trade was a good trade that I didn't hold to my target. So I'm going to walk through my logic on those real quick. First of all, in ES today, we had CPI news come out this morning, and inflation came in like a fraction of a percentage lower than they expected, and apparently the market really liked that. So it rocketed up pre-market and into the day. I have my first hour trade didn't set up very neatly. If I look through this, what I'm looking to do is taking the first, basically the 9 o'clock candle, the 1 hour candle from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. Central Time. Basically looking to take a measured move off of that candle up. It hits that target probably 8 days out of 10. Because the market pushed up so strongly today, it just continued on its uptrend, and we didn't get any really nice pullback. The only thing that I would comment on is that once after that first hour completed, we did pull back into it and created a nice fair value gap right here, which was retested, and then we did push off and move higher. So that would have been a good entry, but it wasn't a pullback below the 27% level, which is what I typically like to see before I get into those. So I didn't. Instead, when we got up here, I thought that I was seeing some rejection, and you can see I sold a contract short here. Immediately it pulled against me. And I moved my target up to basically break even because I expected it to really just pull down. It did not. I was using this kind of resistance as weak justification for that change of direction. Moving forward, that's not something that, I've probably lost more trades selling the low like this than anything. So really, we need more confluence. We need more confirmation before we get into those reversal trades. So that was the AM session. That's all I did in the AM session. Nothing during lunch. I came back in the PM session, and this was a beautiful trade that I just didn't take advantage of. So just to walk through this really quickly, what we have here, this is the afternoon, or the lunchtime session rather. And this is primarily ICT based trading. And so, of course, I'm not an expert in ICT, but that's where most, really all of this is coming from. So don't take me as the expert on ICT, but that's, those are the concepts I'm using here. So here we see a high and a low of the lunch session. Immediately the high is taken in the PM session, which is what we like to see. We saw this exact same thing actually yesterday, except it happened on the low side, came back, retested, and went higher. So actually when I saw this, I got pretty excited. We came down. Let me move this out of the way. Oop, not that. Let me move this fib out of the way here. We'll put it back in a second. So we pushed down, created this fair value gap here. I don't know if that's quite a break of structure. So I waited. It pushed down here. This definitely was a break of structure. And this fair value gap that was formed here. It's over to where it belongs, right there. Okay. So this is what we want to see. Now we have an inversion. Is this an inversion fair value gap? I don't think so. This is just a regular fair value gap that's being tested to the downside. Again, I got a little excited. I think I was trying to take something off of this little fair value gap that had formed on the initial push out, which again, just premature. It just got really choppy, so I jumped out for, I think, 1 tick profit. We came up, we tested this fair value gap. We showed respect for it, so I got in short here. I think my entry was, I'm trying to remember why. I usually would take the break of a candle would be my entry here, but I must have been a little anxious, so I got in early. What's our target? Well, our target is a measured move of this initial leg down, okay, which is what this was. And what's interesting about this is you can see how well this hits. So we start there, we drag it down to there, and then I have a 100% and a 200% marked out. And if you look at this, I ended up getting out down here because it was really just hesitating. I mean, it sat here at this spot for a long time. Of course, as soon as I got out, it ended up pulling back for 1-2 candles and then went past the first profit target to the second profit target. The interesting thing I wanted to point out about this is if you look at where these line up, first of all, the 200% here, basically the 2 times measured move, lines up exactly with the lunchtime low, which also, if you follow that purple line across, you can see this initial push out of this first hour. We had, this retest down, but you have this candle here, the wick touches the bottom, wick touches the bottom. So this is, I don't know why, but that's a level. Hits that easily, sweeps it, and then takes it right back to the other side. So I'd have to analyze this to see. I'll bet there's probably a valid reason to take this this entry going the other direction as well. I'm not going to do it here live though, because I'll probably screw it up. So if there's any ICT experts out there, you probably correct anything I'm saying here that's incorrect. But that was the logic that I was saying, and it would have played out perfectly fine had I sat in it. So that would have been from where I got in to the 200 would have been, I think, 7 or 8 points. 8.75 points. Okay. So those were my ES trades. Oil trades today. Let me pull that chart up. Where are you at? Oil. There it is. Okay. In the trades I take in oil are very mechanical inside bar break trades. This is thanks to a guy by the name of Trader Rob. I've got to keep these straight because I've got I'm following these discords. I've got Trader Rob, who's the one who does these inside bar breaks, and then I think it's Trader Tim. Yeah, Trader Tim is my ICT guy. So if you want to see who I'm listening to at the moment, those are the guys. At any rate, let me change my account so you can see. Here we go. Maybe. I don't see my data series. I want to see where my entries were at. Yeah, it should be. Why don't I see them? Pretty sure it was 210. I feel like I'm totally missing something here because my orders aren't recorded on here. At any rate, I took the break of this candle. So we have 2 sessions, basically the first hour and the second hour of the day are the 2 sessions we look at. The first hour, This was the first inside bar. I took the break on this. The target for this trade is, hold on, get that out of my way. I'm basically a 1-to-1 going off of the opposite side of this kind of, I forget what he calls it, but this first candle here. So I think it was something like 19 ticks, hit that target. That was trade 1. Trade 2 was here. Took the break high, and this came up, pulled back, and it was bouncing around inside this candle so much I sold out for 5 ticks in profit before it eventually went up and hit the profit target of 20 ticks. So again, selling out too early, not holding my trades. I need to, I guess, develop more confidence through practice in those trades. Let's look at RTY really fast. I did not take any trades in RTY today. Really just because I wasn't watching it, because I was watching everything else going on. So my trade in RTY is a rejection of the gold line, which is the 5-minute 9 EMA, which is right here. I think I have it reflected on my chart as a 45 period EMA based on the 1-minute chart. So it's a little different than what the 5-minute line is, but it's, it's essentially the same. We have the opening nonsense. The first touch happens here, and the trade would have called for us to get in on the line. It pulled back roughly, 10 ticks or so before it did. I mean, I think 20 ticks was right here. Yeah, inside this first candle. So it really rocketed up. I don't know where it would have got us in, actually, so you may not have hit the target until this candle over here. What I try to do when I get in trades on days that appear to be kind of trending is to hold the second half of my position. So what I do is I would be in this for 2 contracts. You can see that how I have my ATM strategy set up over here. I had 2 contracts. The first one would sell out at 10 ticks, which is essentially just an insurance. And then the second one would go to 20 ticks. Unless it's on a trending day here, I might pull that target back and just let it ride, which, I wouldn't have done this. But man, I mean, it just went, right? If you would have just sat back and waited, you could have got, well, it went 252 ticks. That's just nuts. It doesn't normally do that. The next touch was over here. This would have been a failure. Depending on how you count your touches, this would have been the first touch, second touch, so we would not have taken this trade. The other reason we would not have taken this trade is there's a clear break, a clear pivot break. We have a high, we have a low that pushes us to a lower high, and then the entry at the line is below this pivot, so that's a broken pivot, so this would not be a good trade. So 2 reasons this was an invalid trade. So there would only have been one. Again, I wasn't watching at the time. We're working on, let's see. I'm working on getting some, actually my dad is programming some of these strategies so they can just run by themselves for these more mechanical trades so that I can watch, well, I would use them so that I could watch price action in ES and NQ. But anyway, those were the trades today. How did the P&L end up? We ended up positive. I'll pay no attention to this guy. I was just playing around with some things in this $300,000 account. We're not going to talk about that. But we ended up $378-ish positive, 353 in some of these accounts because they got filled at different times. You can see where we're at. We're at 50,890. These accounts I've had for a little while. I keep kind of going up and down, but we're steadily trending up. Yesterday was a losing day, but the 4 days previous to that were winning days. So slowly moving in the right direction. We're going to keep that up. That is my trade log for today, November the 14th. Hopefully you had a good day trading, and we'll talk tomorrow. Have a good one.